This is Cassel from Creation Cassel. In this video, we'll look at how to create a cookie from a shape using a script in PaintShop Pro. The script in question is called Cookies. I'm starting with an image that is about 500 pixels in size. This is a typical size for getting the best result with this script. I'm using a preset shape, although you could have used a different shape. You could have used a raster layer. In this case, it's a vector layer, but the script will take care of it. So let's start the script. I get 5 options for creating cookie textures. I can create a cracker, shortbread cookie, chocolate chip cookie, gingerbread, or sugar cookie. Let's create a sugar cookie. Now we can add some icing, which will taste better. It could be created as an outline, so I would have a line all around, or I can fill it. So let's make an outline. And I can choose the color for the icing. Let's make it yellow. Notice that the icing is slightly uneven, which will be typical of many cookies. Now let's create a different cookie. We'll make the same sugar cookie, but this time we will add different icing. So we will fill the icing and make it pink. Again, notice how the icing is slightly uneven. So this is our cookie. We have our icing and the cookie on separate layers. But if I'm happy, I can merge them. So I right click, merge down. So let's move this cookie aside. You can create all kinds of cookies, different shapes, different letters of the alphabet, and so on. Now let's take a bite out of that cookie. Using the eraser tool, set to a round shape, size about 35, hardness 100, the step you want slightly under 100, density 100, thickness 100, and opacity 100. So let's just take a bite like this. Now we can just use a freehand selection tool, set to replace, and we just go through that bite and hit the delete key to remove that cookie. Let's deselect. As you can see, there is an inner bevel all around the cookie, but there's nothing at the bite mark. So how we can manage that? We can create a different inner bevel. However, if we apply the inner bevel to everything, it means it will also add something different on the edge, the outer edge of the cookie, which will look pretty odd. So let's take care of that. Using the magic wand, set to opacity, I'll select my cookie. Here again, if I apply the inner bevel, it will be applied on all the edges, including the edges of the cookie. I don't want that, so what I want is adding it only to the bite area. So what I'll do is I will add some selection outward so it won't touch the edge of the cookie. Using the freehand selection tool to freehand, this time I will add, or I can use the shift key, and I will go from the one end of the bite and go outward all around the cookie up to the other part of the bite and draw inward. Now, as you can notice, if I apply the bevel, it will be applied to the bite mark, but nothing else will touch the cookie. So let's apply that 3D effect, inner bevel, and this time I don't need to have a big width. I don't have to have much smoothness either. The depth, I can go a little deeper. And now I accept. And now I have my bite mark. And I deselect. And here it is. I have a half-eaten cookie. Now it's your time to create your own cookies with this script and PaintShop Pro. Enjoy!